Offshore standoff between a group of Cuban migrants and the U.S. Coast Guard ending peacefully off the coast of the Florida Keys. The 19 migrants climbing high atop a 100-plus foot tall lighthouse.
But tonight, their daring attempt to reach U.S. shores, it may be ending aboard a Coast Guard cutter. The location of that standoff, American Shoal lighthouse, off the coast of Sugarloaf Key. Reporter Andrew Perez joins us live from the Coast Guard station in Marathon.
You know, think about it, guys. This was a pretty desperate act in the middle of an already dangerous journey. Tonight, the fate of all of these migrants, well, that's still up in the air.
It took a little bit of talking and a whole lot of patience to get to 19 Cuban migrants who climbed the American Shoal lighthouse and decided it was best to stay there.
There is a negotiation going on, but up until now they have refused to come off.
A Good Samaritan spotting the group in a homemade boat about 5 miles offshore from Sugarloaf Key. But when the Coast Guard responded and started getting closer, officers say the migrants jumped into the water and went right for the 109-foot structure.
They're on the structure itself. And what the Coast Guard did is established a safety zone in place around American Shoal Light. And we are in contact with the migrants on the structure and are working with them to get them down safely.
The cast iron lighthouse was built in the 1880s. After about 5.5 hours, those on the structure joined Coast Guard crews on the boat without incident. Now the group is being processed by immigration officials to see if they can stay. Under the wet foot, dry foot policy, Cubans who reach U.S. soil are usually allowed to stay in the country. But the Coast Guard says the lighthouse is so far considered a wet foot situation.
The migrants do remain out at sea tonight with Coast Guard officers being questioned, examined. Now, the Coast Guard is saying there are exceptions to the rules. Fear of persecution, for instance. They need to understand what would happen. It's a very thorough process. It could take a couple of days before officials make a final decision here. We're live in Marathon tonight. I'm Andrew Perez, Local 10 News.